Hey, so with the changes in our economy that we're seeing in the United States, especially with regard to layoffs, downsizing of companies, which will probably amount to more layoffs, I want you to remember this, that if you are the recipient or receiver and or the debtor that must pay on a support order, remember that your order, if you go back to court and ask for modification, is going to be effective in most cases on the first of the month after your motion is filed. So for example, today is April 4th. If I was to file a motion to modify today, most likely a court would make any modification of those orders effective on May 1st instead of April 1st, because it doesn't go back, it goes forward. So that's not always the case, but it is most likely the case. So my point is that don't wait. If you're not paying support now or you're not getting support now, it may be in your best interest to go back to court and have the court modify. I mean, I don't know. I can't say exactly, in your situation, because this isn't legal advice. This is just like general life information. I can't say whether or not your support would go down or up. That's why you need to talk to an attorney. However, a change in income, whether that's up or down, is a change in circumstances that warrants a modification of support under the law. So I don't know what your order is. I don't know if you go back to court, you end up paying more or you get less. I don't know that. So you have to talk to a lawyer. But my point is, don't put it off. If you are suffering economically, or even in the case of where both parents end up losing their jobs, your kids are going to suffer because the kids live in the lifestyle in which their parents live, or at least the primary custodial parent. And you're going to need to do something to help your situation and that of your kids. Another thing is that if you don't get your order modified and you start accumulating arrears, okay, so we know that the court will go only back so far to modify from whenever you file that motion. And if you never file that motion and you're not paying support, okay, the arrears on that are accumulating at the rate of 10% per year. So if you're having difficulty meeting your obligations under the court order, it would be a good idea to talk to an attorney to find out whether or not you should file your motion sooner than later, because the child support debt, as I've said in previous videos, can never be extinguished, meaning it will sit there forever and ever, accumulating interest until the day comes in which you can be enforced, or it can be enforced upon you that you must pay the order. Even if you're retired, these judgments can come back to haunt you. Okay, these orders for arrears. So don't wait. Talk to an attorney.